Hi, this is Peter Gianetti of Homepage News, and welcome to Rapid Fire with Circana. I'm joined again by Joe Derochowski, Vice President and Home Industry Advisor for market analytics company Circana. In this episode of Rapid Fire, Joe will provide a look into what the home and housewares business can expect during the 2024 holiday season. If you're ready to go, Joe, let's get started.
Let's go. Looking forward to it.
Our first question, the 2024 holiday season is upon us. What's your overall outlook for the season for home and housewares?
Well, Peter, this is going to be a Merry Christmas and happy holiday season for all of us this year.
That is very good to hear.
You know, we do a holiday purchase intention survey every year just to get a sense of where consumers are at. And in that, it started talking about they're forecasting consumer spending being up about 2%. I know Marshall Cohen, who is our chief industry advisor going across all general merchandise. He's forecasting it to be about 1.5% to 3% up. And I think we're going to fall right in that range.
Yeah, it's funny. I think that's consistent with what a lot of organizations are saying, give or take a point here or there. It seems like the consumer is in a position where they're kind of ready and looking forward to spend. There's going to be a lot of variables that affect that spending, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about that. Our second question, Joe, what is different about this year's holiday season?
Well, I like to think of when does the holiday really fall? And the timing of it, with it falling on Wednesday, is very similar to what happened in 2019. So we're going to see some of that rhythm where Black Friday week and the week after that are going to be very, very strong again. But what's a little different from at that time is we do these October deal days promotions. That wasn't really around at that time. And historically, in 2020 to 2023, the sales that we would see that would happen in October would kind of take a little bit from Black Friday. But I think this year, Black Friday is going to be much more resilient, in part because of the elections and some of the distraction that happens, that I think there's going to be a little bit more that happens. But second is related to the second big point that's different this year is I think we're going to see more self-gifting. We're hitting some of the replacement phase. And a lot of times that Black Friday and those October times are hitting some more self-gifting oriented items. So I think Black Friday is going to be a bit more resilient this year. But then second, we're going to see more self-gifting happening as well. And I think the third big thing is hosting. Our survey is also showing that hosting is expected to also increase 2%. And I know throughout this year that we've been seeing having guests over our house continues to grow even through last month. So I suspect that hosting is going to also be up. And that's part Thanksgiving. That part is the holiday meals that you see in December. But we always see that second weekend of December, and sometimes that first weekend of December as well. We see a lot of the holiday hosting parties with friends and neighbors. So I suspect that that'll be strong again as well this year.
It drives traffic that maybe in the past you never thought of or didn't have to build a marketing strategy around. These are moments that can make a difference in a company's sales this season right now.
Yeah, we think about oftentimes the gifting aspect, which is important, but there are some big meal occasions and entertaining occasions that are also just fantastic opportunities to leverage growth and drive business.
Well, that leads to our final question. What is hot this season? What are you seeing?
Well, I always look at the top selling items through September. I love to take a look at the top 10. And historically, 8 of those top 10s will be the 8 of the top 10 of the holiday season. In part because if you think about it, you go through dieting season of January, March, and June. You've been through indoor eating and colder eating of January and February. You've been through gifting seasons of Mother's and Father's Day gifting. You've been through outdoor entertaining and indoor entertaining season. So I love looking at sales, the top items through January through September, because usually that's an indication what's interesting to the consumer. And sometimes over the holiday, we like to buy those things that maybe we saw other people get or raved about. So if we look at the top items that we have, ice cream yogurt makers, deep carpet cleaners, stick vacuums, hot air stylers, ice shavers, snow cone makers, electric toothbrushes, espresso makers, rice makers, slow cookers, and tea makers. I got to tell you,
that's a good, healthy list.
Eight of those 10 will stick. And the ones that may sneak in there, bare floor cleaners, oral irrigators, and air fryers.
Well, that's great to know. And it's actually great to hear that things are looking like they're going to be very merry as we finish the year. And I know that sort of leads us very positively into what could be a very, very important 2025 of renewed growth opportunity and lasting growth opportunity for the home and housewares business. Joe, thanks very much once again for your data-backed insights. You always give us a lot to think about as we put together our plans for this business. For Homepage News, I'm Peter Giannetti, and we will see you next time on Rapid Fire. Thanks, everyone.